Hey everybody, Zim here, and we are going to look at how to properly handle a microscope and identify different parts of a microscope. So here's our microscope cabinet. We've got a bunch of them to choose from. You can see that they all have numbers on them. So 15 is in spot, whoop, there it is, 15. Or we're going to take number 26 just for fun. Here's 26 and it is in spot 26. You'll also notice how all these microscopes are facing away from us. So the eyepieces are facing towards the wall. That's how they should be put away. When you grab a microscope, you want to grab it, oh, this can be tricky to show you. You want to grab it from the handle and hold it at the base. So I'm going to put it down, and I can't show you, well, I can do it sideways, I guess. Yeah. Grab it from the handle and hold it at the base and hold it close to you so you don't drop it. And set it down gently. On your table. So you can adjust these eyepieces if you need to. Here are some things that you should look for to see if it's put away properly. Make sure that the ocular lenses are smudge free. Looks like it could use a little wiping. It's a little bit dirty here. Make sure that the stage is all the way down. This one was not all the way down. Make sure the stage is all the way down and that this is flush. Make sure that the power is off and that the illumination control knob is turned all the way to the left and that the cord is wrapped nice and tight. That's exactly how a microscope should be put away. Then when we put it back, do the same thing. Excuse me for the poor handling here. Put it back in its correct spot. Now this other one, number 25, it is in the right spot, but there's a lot going on with it that we need to fix. First, the cord is all loose. We don't want that. It's going to get all messed up. So let's take this out and fix all those things that we see that are off. So we need to make this cord, we need to tie this cord tighter, wrap it around tight. We want to see how, oh, one more thing that I forgot to mention, see how the objective is at 40x right now? We don't want that. And see how close the stage is? There's a high risk of damaging the microscope. We also want to check to make sure that there's no slide kept on the stage. It should be clear. So let's put the stage down. Let's switch this to 4x. When you switch things, use the rubber part. This is called the nose piece. Also, the power switch should be off. The O, think of that as 0, off. The line, think of that as a 1, that's on, off, on, like think binary stuff. And also make sure the illumination control knob is turned all the way down. Okay, let's talk about different parts of the microscope. These are the ocular lenses. The ocular lenses are what you look through, and there is a lens here, of course, and that's a 10x magnification. You see things 10 times bigger when you look through the ocular lenses. These are the objective lenses, and you can see that they have additional numbering on them. The lowest one is 4x. In other words, it makes it 4 times bigger. The 4x lens is called the scanning lens. So 4x times 10x, that gives us a total magnification of 40x. So at the 4x scanning lens objective, we have a total magnification of 40x. Once again, use the nose piece to turn. This is the nose piece. This yellow one is objective of 10x, and that's low magnification. So scanning is not, the 4x is not low, it's scanning. 10x is low. 10x times 10, that gives us the total magnification of 100x. And when you switch it, also make sure it clicks into place. This one is 40x. 40x is the high power lens. 40 times 10 is 400x. That's a 400x total magnification. There's one more lens on here, and we're not going to use it much. This is the 100x objective lens, and it says oil on it. That means you need to put a drop of oil on your slide when you look using this lens. The thing is, it is very, well, one, it can get messy with the oil, and two, it gets really close to the slide. So there's a really high risk of damaging a slide or the lens. So we don't want to work with this very often, and we don't need to. Most of the things we see are just fine at 400x total. But this would give you 1000x total magnification. And the word for this, that there's not a lot of space between the stage and the slide, it has a very, very small working distance. So here we can see it's not as long, even shorter at our scanning. Another reason why we want to put our microscope away set to the scanning objective lens. This is the stage, and we can move the stage with the stage control knobs. We can move it back and forth, or we can move it side to side. This is the stage clip, so our slide clip. We can clip in a slide here. So imagine a rectangular slide that clips in here. By clipping it in, that allows us to move the slide easily back and forth, side to side, back and forth, and side to side. That lens looking thing right here, that's not a magnifying lens, but it's actually a condenser lens. It changes the amount of light that comes from underneath. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me talk about light. To turn light on, and let me plug this in so you can actually see it turn on. This is the light switch. Light comes from the bottom. I'm going to turn the illumination control knob up and you'll see light come up. Looks a little dusty here. Should probably use some lens paper and wipe that up. But this is the illumination control knob, and you can see light coming on from underneath. This lens looking thingy is called the condenser. It condenses light onto your sample, and we can change the distance the condenser is from our specimen. I don't change it all that much. I usually just keep it close. What I do change a lot when I'm trying to get a better view is the illumination control knob, as well as this little lever. This is called the Diaphragm Lever. This is kind of changing the aperture. If you can see closely, we're changing the hole, and that changes the amount of light coming through. It's changing the aperture. There's one other way to change light, and that's this thing, and I don't even know what it's called, but we can basically let no light in and another one in, or more or less light in. It kind of changes, I don't know how you can see this. You can make it really big or narrow it down to nothing, which, you know, you don't want to do that. You usually want to see what it is you're looking at. So I barely play with this. This is one way to control light. The condenser knob is another one to move the condenser up and down. The diaphragm lever I change a lot. It's great for having contrast. So I recommend using this, and I recommend playing around with this, the illumination control knob. The higher objective, the higher magnification you go, the more light you'll need because it gets dimmer and dimmer. So you'll want to play around with this as you go to higher magnifications. When you want to get things in focus, we can use the coarse focus and the fine focus. Coarse focus moves the stage up and down very fast. Fine focus, very, very, very slow. You can barely even see it. When you're at the 4x scanning objective, feel free to move it really fast as you want. You're not going to hurt anything. There's no risk of damaging the slide or lens because the working distance is so great. But once you get it into focus at 4x, and always get into focus at 4x first, it will be very, very hard if you don't to find your sample. So first get it in focus at scanning, then switch it to 10x, and then only use fine focus. At the higher magnifications, only please use fine focus. Once again, always get your sample into focus at 4x objective, the 40x total, and you're free to use coarse focus. Most people don't get close enough, is what I find. because you're usually too shy about it. Get in focus at 4x. Then when you switch to 10x and 100x, 10x and 40x, use the fine focus. If we're all done, we set it to the scanning objective 4x, put the stage all the way down, turn the light switch off, set the illumination all the way down, then wrap the cord tightly. Bear with me, I'm doing this with one hand. Wrap the cord tightly and make the stage flush with the center. This is how the microscope should be put away. This could be a little better. There we go. Nice and packed. Low risk of damaging anything. No slide left on the stage. And we put it away in the correct number with the lenses facing the wall. All right, so happy microscope use. Please refer to this at any time to make sure you put your microscopes away properly, or just refer to our diagrams here and for a quick check of if you did everything that you needed to put it back correctly.